Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Middle Agers Comic Hour. I am one of your hosts, J.A. Bryden, and with me is Ryan. How are we, Ryan?
I'm good, mate. It's been such a long time since I've seen you, since you've recorded, like last night.
Don't spoil the illusion. Don't spoil the illusion. As far as they know, we record on the day of release.
Yes,
and I am a editing master.
And yes, we record, and we record an hour before you upload it on every Wednesday. That's how it works in the magical world of music, podcasting.
Yes, and look, it's a special privilege recording this on the weekend of Spider-Man 2 being released on PlayStation 5, because here I am watching masterpieces of movies. Matthew Holmes. No, this isn't comic related, unless Matthew Holmes, if you're listening and you want to turn your masterpiece movie The Cost into a comic book, I could see it being a good graphic novel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that editing. We've got a whole lot of interviews coming out for our story chat episodes. Look, things are looking good for the podcast. They really are. But we recognize that you guys love these comic book stuff, so we're up in our game. Well,
and so do we. We love them as well.
100%. Are we halfway through? We're almost halfway through Kraven.
Yeah. So we've got it's a 6-issue story arc. So by finishing issue 3, we're officially halfway through at the end.
Awesome. Or not, because I'm enjoying this and I want it to last forever. Guys, so please like, subscribe, share. You know all the podcast stuff. Check out our other shows, Story Chat, Stories the True and the Fictional, all on the same feed. Look, I'm going to save all my Spider-Man 2 game talk for when we do the main show with Chris, because by then he will have finished it and then moved on to Baldur's Gate 79 or whatever.
You say he finished it. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No,
he won't finish it.
No, he'll do the minimum possible.
Yeah.
Or
the Michael Morales, I like to call it the Michael Morales style, just playing basic through, ignoring all the side quests.
Yes. That's right. But also, and this is another theory I have for him not finishing things. This is something he has always done.
Yeah.
He puts a game into the PlayStation. Yeah. And then he goes, I feel like playing something else. He puts that game out and puts a different game in, but he does not put the game back in its original case. No. It is like, what's that game? Well, the card game where you put everything upside down and then you got to guess pairs. Like memory kind of thing. Memory. Yeah. It's like that, but in video game. He once lent like Final Fantasy game or something to Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael got home and opened it up, and it was Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Like not the game, the movie.
The movie.
This is the world that Chris lives in. The greatest thing ever to happen to Chris is digital content.
Yes.
It's like he can't lose.
He doesn't have to worry about putting it. He doesn't have to worry about putting it in a certain box and
scrolling through Netflix, going. Yeah. Now, where did I leave that? No, I'm sorry, Chris. I know you're not listening.
He's not listening. No, of course he's not listening. He doesn't even listen to the podcast episode he's in.
Yeah. And what's funny is he requests stuff before we record. Okay, I want this kind of soundtrack in the background. Do you verify what I've done? Do you know the masterpieces that I've worked on?
I want the most amazing cinematic music, and you can just put Benny Hill theme song in there, and then he'll be just like, it sounds fantastic.
He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. He hasn't got. Ain't got no time for that.
No.
But anyway, this isn't the Chris Park podcast.
No, it's not.
This is the Middle Agers Comic Hour, and we've got some news. I pulled up some news because this episode may be a little short. I wanted to fill it out with some news that I think we would be interested in. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that there's been a lot of firing from the Daredevil Born Again series?
Yeah. So I've heard there's been 2 big bits of sort of news from Daredevil. Like they pretty much, I think the writers are gone or something like that. but they're still saying, like we're still getting the cast, and obviously I'm seeing all over the site that John Bernthal is confirmed as Punisher in Born Again. But apparently they pretty much did like a clean out of writers and directors and stuff like that. I don't know exactly who got let go, but a lot of people did.
Yeah, and from what I could tell, the one of the main reasons they got rid of all the writers and all that, or starting fresh, is because apparently he didn't even wear a costume till the 4th episode.
Correct.
Well,
I mean,
and you just like, is it Daredevil or Matt? I'd be okay if you're selling me. Okay, we're going to do a show just about Matt Murdock being the lawyer. I would be okay with that if that is what you're selling me. But if you're saying no, it's Daredevil, it's the Godzilla thing all over again. We don't want 12 minutes of Daredevil.
And the Born Again storyline is not the year one. It's not the origin story of Daredevil. So there's no real need to go back and do that. I think the Netflix series did a really good job of that. Where in season 1, where it gave us the traditional, the jumper over the head, which is what it was in the comics and when in the origin story. But Born Again is not an origin story. Born Again is a very pivotal story in the history of Daredevil. So I don't know why they were mucking around like that.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Like, with the 3rd and final season of the Netflix series, was that not setting it up for Born Again?
It was most certainly going to set it up for the Born Again. Yes, correct. We were supposed to get 2 of the best comic arcs in TV. We were going to get season 3 of Iron Fist was going to be the Immortal Iron Fist saga, which is probably the best Iron Fist comic in the entire existence.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil season 4 was going to be Born Again Daredevil, which is again one of my favorite comic arcs in Daredevil history. But we got neither. So Thanks, Netflix.
Thanks, Disney. No, it wasn't Netflix's fault. It was Disney's fault because Disney bought them.
Oh, with Disney. Okay, so it's one thing we can't blame Netflix for.
Well, maybe not. But Netflix.
I better not say too many bad things about Netflix because I'm watching Kim's Convenience at the moment. I don't want them to take it down prematurely before I finish it.
Wasn't it? No, but like it's not directly Netflix's fault. It's just that because Fox owned those characters. And then
Fox owned the rights to those characters. I don't know the behind the scenes in terms of was it a deal with Fox and Netflix or did Netflix? Who knows? Like it's just convoluted with the whole Fox merger. Yeah. We lost a lot of the whole. Hey, you have to make a movie once every 10 years to keep the rights. Or make something, not necessarily a movie. Like you could make a video game, you could make an animated movie or TV show or whatever. I used to know how that worked, but now with like Disney and Fox and everything, it makes it pretty difficult to try and work out.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully they're making the right call by firing all these writers and bringing.
Well, Charlie Cox he's full into it. He says, "Look, I'm still on board." And we still do get John Bernthal as the Punisher. So look, as long as Charlie Cox is still involved, because he's a big Daredevil fan, he and he's a great actor as well. But if he's involved and has a bit of say over how things are going, then I'll excuse his performance in She-Hulk. Because I'm sure he said he wasn't happy with that, but it's like those, you make the deals. You do one for the company and then you do one for you. You know what I mean? It's just that's how it kind of works. So let's hope Born Again is not as rubbish. Although I will say I am 3 episodes deep in Loki, and Loki is really good. Absolutely really good. Hasn't been a disappointment like all the others. Loki is still. I watched episode 3 yesterday. I've been watching it week by week, and it is still on my go-to. Like I will watch it the day after it comes out. So Loki is living up to what season 1 was.
I mean, you got Tom Hiddleston, and he's like a phenomenal actor.
And Owen Wilson.
Oh wow!
So that was really good. This, they're really exploring the time traveling variant kind of thing in this season, which was actually, you would think, oh God, time traveling, but they've actually done it really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's not something that I'm going, oh, I'll just wait and watch all of them together. I'm actually watching them week by week. So don't give up. I don't give up on Disney just yet.
Yeah. Not yet. And apparently they did Disney did the 100th year celebration, and they actually did something that I'm pretty okay with. They got some stock old audio recordings of Robin Williams, probably when he did Aladdin, and did reanimated the genie to go with it in this animated thing. And I mean, it's probably what Chris wanted. Like he was talking about, 16 hours or something of extra footage.
There's enough of it there to make 17 movies.
Yeah. But Chris wants the dirty stuff that he probably said, no, that's not appropriate for kids. Actually, you know what? If I were to answer our time travel question, like we do for all our when we have interviews and that, I would love to go back in time and just be in that room, be a fly on the wall, watching Robin Williams work.
Yeah,
because that would be
I suppose
amazing.
It would depend on which part of career, if it was when he was doing a lot of coke, because I'm being serious. I'm actually watching a documentary not as we speak, but before we recorded on Robin Williams called The Dark Side of Comedy, and that man, we just went through so much hell, but he brought so much joy. So I think it was when he did that when he was clean, because that was during the Flubber, Bicentennial Man, Jack. Patch Adams, where he was, Good Will Hunting, all that kind of thing. So, but I would just to be a fly. Yeah, I'd agree with that. A fly on the wall, that would be amazing.
100%. All right, moving on to the second bit of news from Cosmic Book News. Kick-Ass is getting the reboot treatment.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't keep going because it was the most pirated movie. Number 2, so they made no money. It was an independent film, and they couldn't make a third one because everyone decided not to pay for it. That's the thing. But apparently, original director and all that, Matthew Vaughn coming back.
I don't know.
You think it's had its time?
I just don't think the films did the comic justice.
Really?
To be honest with you, no, definitely, especially the second one. The second film, not at all. The first one was great. Obviously it launched careers. For, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Obviously, what's the other guy? Oh God, his name's slipping me. He's in all the American Horror Stories, and he just played Jeffrey Dahmer. He plays Quicksilver in the Fox universe. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Evan Peters. There you go. It was, honestly, it was a good film, but it just, for me, it was one of those adaptations where you got to go balls to the wall, or you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
And we've gotten, now that we've got shows like The Boys, Gen V, Invincible, where actually are very, very accurate, and all those comics are quite full on, and they've done them justice. So it could happen, but I was hoping that it was going to be a new director, producer, writer.
I'm just going through this article, and he's saying he's not going to be using any of the first characters. So maybe it's just a kick-ass universe. Do you know anything about Patience Lee?
No, no. There's no real. I mean, we've already seen pretty much every character that's been in the comics and the Kick-Ass comics, so I don't know how he's going to use people that they're just going to make them up, or unless he's working with Mark Millar, because I've read all of it and we've seen all of it.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at there's a picture here. Mark Miller spoke with. So Mark Miller, he's a comic book writer.
Mark Millar, yeah.
Mark Millar, yeah. No, well, he's apparently he's involved. So,
well, he's a writer, so then it depends on what. Is he involved for an executive producer credit, where he just get paid for it, or if he's actually involved involved, then I'm open to it. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that I'm cheering about. Like I'm not going, yeah, awesome. It's just they ruined the second movie so much that I mean, I was one of those people who paid. I own them both on Blu-ray. I paid to see both of them in the cinema. I just don't. I'm not excited for it. So look, I'm obviously I'll give it a go, but yeah, I'm not too excited about it.
Oh, okay. So Mark Millar did reboot Kick-Ass in the comics recently.
Oh, he has he? Okay.
Yeah. So this must be the new.
Okay, I'll have to look into that after we record.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen any new Kick-Ass. Like I haven't seen any new Kick-Ass in a very long time. So maybe it's something that I've missed. Maybe it's on a different label, a different publisher that I haven't been looking at.
Okay, so back in 2018, the mantle was passed from Dave to Patience Lee, a military veteran, if that means anything.
Okay.
There may be
so 2018, did you say?
Yeah. So maybe there's just been new stuff we just haven't been looking about it. Look, I've never read the comic book. I've just heard that Kick-Ass is a lot younger than he is portrayed in the movies.
He most certainly was, 100%.
But
I think he was about 13, 14 in the comic books when he first started.
Which makes sense because that's the age a kid wants to be a superhero.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I'll give it a go. I might do some research up for the next episode after we finish recording and check it out and see. I might give it a read and check it out and come back to you.
And as always, I will leave the link in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. Let us know your thoughts. Send us an email, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com or stories_podcast on Instagram. Two best places to find us.
But in something that you mentioned the other week, I think it was either the last episode or the episode before, I haven't read it yet, but I did pick up the first issue of Justice League Godzilla Kong.
Oh, really?
So I haven't actually read it yet because it only came out this week.
Okay.
But I will be giving it yes, when I say this week in Australia, it's Thursday. So like 2 days ago it came out.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to give it a read yet, but I will be definitely giving it a read tomorrow. And so next episode, I will let you know how the first issue goes. But yeah, I picked it up. IDW, obviously, we all love.
Yep.
So, and I love their crossovers. They just can't seem to do wrong at the moment, crossover wise. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. I did see it on the list, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go because it's something. I mean, it's an interesting concept. So, I really want to check it out. Other comic book I had something else that was comic book related, news wise, but I can't seem to remember. So if it comes to me, I will definitely mention it. But there is a new DC animated movie, not for everyone. It is it's anime. It's Justice League versus RWBY. It's like an anime Justice League.
All right.
Just came out a couple of days ago. I watched it because one of a favorite wrestler of mine is actually the voice of Killer Croc in this one, and he did his first portrayal into anime. So no one you would know, Jamie, not WWE, from a different promotion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I checked it out. It's actually really good. Part 1 and Part 2 have come out on streaming, not streaming services as in for free. But streaming services where you can pay for it to hire. I checked both parts out. So if you're into anime, check out Justice League versus RBWY. I'll send Jamie the link and he can put it in the show notes. But check it out if you're a fan. Because DC, as I've said before, DC can do no wrong animated style. They do amazing. Like I'm watching Harley Quinn at the moment, the animated series. With Kaylee Penny from Big Bang Theory as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And it is phenomenal. It's like balls to the wall. The boys' humor and violence. It is amazing, and it's up to season 4 at the moment. So, it's really, really good. DC can't do wrong with animated. I have not seen a bad DC animated anything. So yeah, and I think I mentioned last week. Check out The Doom That Came to Gotham on Netflix if you're in Australia, and in the US, another great Batman Elseworld tale set in the 20s, Lovecraftian, so very good. Yeah, that's all the news that I have from Comic Book World.
This has been another edition of Ryan's Recommendations.
No, I figure if you're listening to if you're listening to these episodes, you're a comic book fan. So I know that
100%.
I'm always looking for new suggestions. I'm always looking for new things to watch, especially at the moment while I've got not much else to do. I'd like to recommend those things as well.
100%. Well, I almost forgot the reason we are here, Brian, and that is Kraven. Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yep. Issue 3.
Issue 3. It is called Descent.
Descent.
I wonder if anyone is going to go down anywhere in this comic.
I think it's a multi-layered reason. There is a bit of descending into the sewers, and then there's a descent into madness of Kraven himself. But another great issue. Absolutely, still focusing.
I think this is the darkest so far. Like, it's pretty dark.
Oh no.
I said so far.
Not yet.
I said so far.
Oh, so far, yeah. Yes,
Keywords so far. And actually, the more Vernon was active in this one, I'm just thinking, like, man, Ninja Turtles needs to come to this universe, because imagine Splinter, Splinter and or the Rat
Splinter
King
versus Vermin, that'd be awesome.
Or even the Rat King. Like, I'd love the Rat King. He's one of my favorite villains in the Turtle world.
Definitely. That's I don't know, but if you know, sorry to divert, there's a comic series at the moment with Ninja Turtle called the Armageddon Game, which is it's kind of like a little mini event. But the Rat King is actually, I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm collecting it. Nice. The Rat King is actually the villain in that one, so he's the big bad in that arc. So it's supposed to be pretty good. I think they've just dropped issue 5, so I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Cool. All right, what do you say we dive into this comic? Just like all the other times, I think it's this pattern, or the way we're doing this, is working really well. So I'll punch out the synopsis, the plot and all that, and you chime in when you feel like going,
No, definitely.
Okay. Spider Kraven barges through a window of a warehouse where it's being held. A heroin transaction. Kraven takes them
not a heroin as in a woman who needs to be saved. It's actual heroin as in the drugs that you inject.
It's a bunch of criminals selling off superheroes that happen to be females. Is that what you're going for?
Yep.
Go, we got that here. Exactly. We've got Wonder Woman. We got a Wonder Woman. We got a Wonder Woman. She can lift. No. Yeah. So Kraven takes them out effortlessly, as he always does.
Yeah.
And then leaves when the cops arrive.
Yep.
They say he's been a little out of control for a couple of weeks, thinking that he's Spider-Man. They think that he's Spider-Man.
Yep.
And that he's already sent 15 men to the hospital. It sounds a little more like Batman than Spider-Man at the moment.
Well, it's like this is what I like about this era of writing. It's like at this scene, you got the cops going, he sent 15 to the hospital, and he's like, yeah, but they're all criminals. Let them duke themselves out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then obviously they discover that one of the victims is actually deceased now. Yeah. So Spider Kraven has officially made a death. His first death as Spider Kraven.
Yeah. He seems quite happy about it. He's on the rooftop screaming, I am Kraven.
Yes,
and all I can imagine in this situation is just someone popping his head out and going, yeah, shut up, in this New York accent.
Yeah, exactly. It's New York, yeah. Hey, go to bed. Nobody cares.
Like that scene.
Trying to sleep over here.
Yeah, that scene from Tom Holland's Spider-Man with Stan Lee yelling out the window. It's just like, and the car. He's like, it's just my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Stan Lee.
But yeah, I could just imagine that too. It's like Mario popped his head out. He's like, I'm trying to sleep over here. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Venom catches another victim. This is another great scene where a woman walking down the street and she's, ranting, and then yoink, she disappears. Yeah, so Venom catches another victim and then attacks a police car, remembering that they harmed him before when he was something else, something he doesn't remember. He throws one of the cops out of the car to a sewer drain, from where it leaves a huge amount of rats who cover the top. We know what's going on under there. The other cop leaves the car and shoots him on the side. She tells him to call off the rats, and he does. Then Venom disarms her and licks her face because she reminds him of
very
Mummy.
Creepy. It's very I thought that was kind of creepy. It's a little bit like Deliverance style, but gives a woman cop a nice little lick on the face. So
you remind me of Mummy. I'm like, geez, man, this is a horror movie. I'm so glad this is a comic because
it's the 80s, man. This is the 80s.
It's so just you know how you get creepy heapy with spiders. I get that feeling just looking at these rats. Knowing that New York there's so much rats in New York, like there really is. There's like 5 species or something, Correct me if I'm wrong, Martin Kearns.
I have no idea, but I'm sure someone can reach out and tell us on Twitter or something.
I think we should get Martin Kearns back on just to have a genuine conversation, and he can tell us all about New York.
Yes,
we can have.
There you go.
Is this true? Is this true? He can ask us about Australia, all the things that are true in Australia, and then we can ask him about all the things that are true.
And we'll lie to him like we always do and tell him that it's all true when it's really not. So
tell him about drop bears. They always fall for that. All right, so MJ goes to Robbie's. Yes, that's Robbie.
Robbie Robertson, the editor of the Daily Bugle.
Yes.
Who's having his... So just a little backstory to Joe Robbie Robertson. So just before this story happened, before this arc happened, there was a big arc with him. He used to be best friends with Tombstone. Not when he was Tombstone, but before he became Tombstone, the gangster. Yeah. So Tombstone kidnapped Robbie's son, who's Peter Parker's best friend. And there was a whole big saga on it. So that's why they kind of kept Robbie around. He's kind of just getting over that at the moment. So he's still hanging around a bit in the episodes and still a bit like, the go-to guy when it comes to evil doings. And Mary Jane obviously knows him a lot from, Peter's work, and they've become quite close over the years. So she's obviously, she doesn't know where Peter is, and she's trying to find him, and she's deciding whether she's going to sort of let Robbie in on a bit of a secret, and she's fighting that battle in her head. Yeah,
it's that. Look, I've seen it in a lot of shows, a lot of movies and stuff. That where you go somewhere and you want to talk to someone, and you go in there, and then you change your mind. You change your mind and you leave. That's the whole thing. Like, she's like, "Can I?"
Because she's obviously having that battle with, well, I need him to help me, but how am I going to do that without telling him that Peter is Spider-Man. And all that, you know what I mean? So she's like, because Mary Jane's obviously used to this kind of thing, but at this stage Peter's been gone for a little while, so she kind of worried and wanting, but she's like, how do I approach this without letting Robbie know that Peter's alter ego?
That's the thing. So while that's going on, and Mary Jane just bursts out and leaves. Kraven's preparing to hunt Vermin. He's He's got a rat in a cage. He's getting very
a lot of symbolism with Kraven in this comic. He likes to do his little preparation, and Kraven's kind of always been like that in retrospect when you read it. He's got his rituals, he's got his preparations. He's not just the kind of guy with, okay, I need to kill Vermin.
Yeah.
I keep trying to call him Vernon. I don't know, like Vernon.
Well, because Vernon's from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But he's not like the kind of guy, okay, I'm going to go out. He plans, he meditates, he has rituals that he goes through. If he stalks the prey, he plans all of this. So, while it might just be a standard fight for Vermin, Kraven's been planning this for weeks.
Yeah. You know what would be an interesting fight?
What's that?
Kraven versus Batman.
Well, I mean, it would fit Kraven's to bat, like he hunts animal kind of superheroes.
Do you think that's pretty evenly matched? They're both preppers.
Yeah, look, honestly, I don't think I could even picture it. I don't know why, but I just can't actually see it in my head. I've never thought of that kind of encounter. No, because you think Kraven's enterprise is currently like. At the moment, he doesn't have much behind him, but in the current comics, he's quite wealthy. So he does have quite a lot of money behind him to plan and to procure services and stuff like that. I think it'd be a very psychological battle, which I don't think Batman is known for really. Kraven would probably taunt and tease and hunt and stalk and drive Bruce mad before he even really had a chance to get into the fight. So look, I'd be interested. Obviously, I don't like talking crossovers in terms of DC and Marvel, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah,
interesting to see.
I think a lot of the minor characters or lesser characters would work, but not the big. Like you wouldn't go Spider-Man versus Superman. Like that's just like
no, of course. I think Peter had just asked for his autograph or something like that.
Yeah.
I think but no, I get you. It would work though.
Yeah, you wouldn't do Black Panther versus Wonder Woman,
No,
it just.
No, I get it.
Like you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like DC's the gods,
Yeah.
When all Marvel's got is like Thor,
and Loki.
Well, Loki's more of
when
a
he wants to.
trickster.
When he wants to. Loki's like he goes from side good to bad to good to bad to good to bad. So when he feels like it.
Anyway, tangent over. Okay. So Kraven's preparing to hunt vermin. By succeeding, he proves himself a superior Spider-Man by doing what the original couldn't.
Exactly.
Vermin's asleep in the sewers. He doesn't kill him. He just knocks him out and goes, "Yeah, there you go, I won." Oh, okay. So Kraven wins and leaves the sewers carrying Vermin in his arms.
Correct.
And then, meanwhile, the moment we've been waiting for.
And what we forget to mention throughout the issue, we see you keep cutting back to the grave where we know Peter's buried, and more spiders are appearing on the grave. Like it was rats initially, and now it's more and more spiders are slowly making their way up the grave.
Yeah.
From the ground. So.
And a hand comes out. Yeah.
Yes.
Spider hand.
Yes.
So Spider-Man wasn't dead. It only took us like 3 issues to get to the point we're going like, oh, he's alive. This is Walking Dead torment.
Yeah,
isn't it? When you think about it,
especially if we were reading it at the time.
Yeah.
Like obviously now we know he's not, but like if you were reading it in the 80s when it came out. And you were just like, it's kind of like they did the death of Superman when Doomsday actually killed Superman. They went full into it. They went, I think it was like 3 months or something before they revealed that Superman wasn't actually dead. They had a whole team of other superheroes filling in for him and all this kind of thing. So you actually believed, and they had like an issue called Funeral for a Friend, which was like a black issue with the Superman symbol, which was the actual funeral for Superman. So they actually had you believing that DC had killed off their number one selling character. And it was also like in Civil War in the 2000s when Captain America got murdered. But even though he was only shot in the shoulder and the stomach, I mean, it's Captain America. You shoot him in the shoulder and the stomach. That's pretty sure he's going to make a recovery.
Yeah.
But But yeah, that's comic. But no, that's why I say no one ever really dies in comics.
No, and
except for Uncle Ben.
Yeah, multiple times. But it's even the same with IDW Ninja Turtles when they quote unquote killed Donatello, and everyone's going, Donatello's dead, Donatello's dead, and I'm going like, no, he can't. No, he's not, and he wasn't. His consciousness was put into a robot while his body recovered. But that's actually the thing that's the issue it got to, and I thought, no, and that got me into IDW series. Yeah, like all of it. Like I got the first issue, didn't read any other, and then everyone's like, Donatello's dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, the comic book is dead. And then I picked up the whole series and just I think like every payday I bought a couple of 2 or 3 volumes.
Yep.
And built up the collection, and now I have it all.
Well, I forgot to mention to you this week also the second volume of the Resident Alien Omnibus came out. I meant to tell you the other day, but I forgot. So there is a new version of the Resident Alien Omnibus.
Oh.
For Jamie to spend his money on.
No, well, you see,
and also the two.
I've got the first volume of Resident Alien, and while I enjoy it, it's just not the show. The show is superior. Like, honestly, but if they didn't have Alan Tudyk in that show, it would have been a very, very different show, because the people who made the show said, yeah, we basically just rewrote the show to fit Alan Tudyk's audition. And it works so well. I don't hate the comic. I think it's interesting, cool concept and all that stuff, but it's just he's just not that full blown.
That's all right. You can save your money for the Ultimate Spider-Man omnibuses that are the 2 and 3 that are out now, or 3's coming out in December.
Yeah, I'll probably get them both at the same time when I get a.
I think with Amazon they have like a bundle deal you can have.
All right, yeah, but that's probably all 3.
They've got a bundle deal. Yeah. No, but that lets you know, after many years of searching, for that. As long as I've known you, you've been looking for more than just volume 1 of the omnibus. So at least you know it's coming out and it's coming, and they're doing. I think they're doing. Number 2 is out at the moment. Number 3 is coming out middle of December. So they're not mucking around anymore.
That's good. It's a big commitment though, because that's a whole. I mean, how many issues is the entire series?
So if you got the omnibuses 1 through 3, it covers Mark Bagley and Brian Michael Benditz's run on it, which I think is 120 to 130 issues.
Okay, that's.
I remember when I looked it up when we were looking into it. I looked it up. It took you to, because then after that they started again with new writers. They started from 1 again.
Yeah.
And then that's when sort of Miles Morales started to get introduced as well into that universe. So, but I believe the first 3 omnibuses contain all of Mark Bagley and Brian Michael Benditz's run, which is I think 1 to 130 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the best one. That's the best one. Same writer, same artist for the whole 130 issues.
That's good. I love.
Yeah,
I love it when you got the same people working on the same thing. It doesn't get handed on to someone else.
Yeah,
because exactly like TV shows, you know, when the new showrunners hop on board, you can tell that it's changed.
Yeah,
you know, you can tell that something's different.
No, I agree, and then for a team to stay on a comic for that long, you can tell there's love and passion behind it.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and because they're the creators, they're the essential creators of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Cool. All right, I think I'm going to cut this one short. I have some Spider-Man to play. It was a short issue. As always, guys, feel free to reach out for any reason at all. The True and the Fictional at gmail.com. Did I say that right? The True and the Fictional at gmail.com. Stories_podcast on Instagram. Please check out our other shows, Story, the True and the Fictional, Story Chat. As you know, we're pretty of a variety show. We've got something for everyone. Like, subscribe, share, you know, all that podcast stuff. And we'll catch you next time.
We'll see you next time.